Good evening and welcome to game number 1 between Meteor Makers and FUBAR, or otherwise known as Fucked Up Beyond All Recognition, formerly known as GosuLeague. This is a Division 1 match for GosuLeague Season 5. Like I said, game number 1, and I will not be casting this match alone. I will be joined by Purge. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. I love FUBAR's name. I'm very glad that they kept all the profanity off the screen. They're doing a great job with that.
Yeah. Very nice indeed. I'm actually I'm curious to see if they're gonna be getting another sponsor anytime soon. I mean, maybe with that name it's not really ideal to pick up a sponsor.
Yeah, I think they'll have them replace it at some point.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty likely. I don't know how this game is going to go though. GosuLeague didn't do super well in the last season of GosuLeague. They were down towards the bottom, but they didn't get eliminated, so they weren't one of the worst 2 teams. MYM was also towards the bottom of the pack, so I think these guys are actually going to be pretty equally ranked here.
I think so too.
I really don't know how this is going to turn out, to be honest.
Yeah, because Meteor Makers have been in a bit of a slump, I guess I can call it, after the group stages, or should I say group stages? No, after the online stages of Star Ladder, actually. And after that, they have not been really the same anymore. And Gamers League, I have seen them a lot. They have participated, for example, in all the qualifiers for the DreamHack qualifiers, and they have performed very nicely. I think actually, I don't think they actually won though. They got second in one of them, but still, well, they are an upcoming team. While Meteor Makers is kind of dropping towards the background a bit more, I would say. So kind of even at that, well, one dropping towards the same location as the other one was rising to, if I can call it that, or is that too mean?
I think you can. It's okay.
What did you do with your microphone?
Is my microphone a robot now?
No, it's not. But somehow you're like lower right now, like softer. It is.
I have no idea. I didn't touch anything.
Oh well, maybe it comes back to normal in the moment. It's just different. It's not bad or worse or anything.
Okay, good. All right, let's look at the picking quick. We have a TA ban. First round, Darkseer, Batrider, Bounty Hunter. So who's the magic hero that has made it through? Jakiro is going to be an early pickup. Rubik has been seen some picking. I think it depends on the first pick. Wade Runner. That surprises me so much.
That is not a hero that you would normally see even picked up as a second 2 pickups, or at least if you have second pick. I mean, Meteor Makers wouldn't have picked up a Windrunner. They pick up a Queen of Pain and a Leshrac. Also heroes that are not normally in the first 2 pickups that you would expect. And we still have the Rubik in the pool. Yeah,
but yeah, Queen of Pain is very weird here, but it does guarantee them a solid soul. That's the strong point, is that they will have Queen of Pain against whoever FUBAR ends up drafting, and Leshrac, of course, still great against pushing towers. There's a lot of good heroes left over, though. Yeah. So
your microphone starts to break up a bit now.
Great. Thank you, Internet.
Yeah.
In case my day wasn't bad enough already.
Oh no, it's not that bad. You get to cast with me. It's good.
Yeah, it's good enough. At least you can hear my voice. I could it's such a terrible, like, I can still play Dota in other games, but I can't stream.
No.
Frustrating. So frustrating.
I actually think I think that FUBAR should pick up the Sven, because otherwise Meteor Makers will pick it up to go with the Leshrac. And I hope for a Sven Wisp combination as well, because well, I only jumped into half of the game, or the second half of the game for Na'Vi vs Empire game number 1, and I actually really like to see that they're actually gonna pick up something else though. Enigma is gonna be probably the jungle hero for that, and Rubik still being picked up there. And for the people asking, there is indeed no sound for me for this drafting phase, because if you mute your co-caster, you also mute the lady that talks about whose turn it is to pick or ban.
Really? Is that what does it?
Yeah.
That's what the bug is. I was wondering, because I heard it a couple days, the other days, and I was very surprised. I was like, how come I can hear this now? They must have fixed it. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully they work on that soon.
Yeah.
Rubik, Enigma, great picks. The thing I like about the Rubik pick here is you're up against a Leshrac and a Queen of Pain. Both those heroes have fabulous things you want to steal. Blink is great on a support Rubik or a solo Rubik. If she goes Aghanim Scepter and you can steal that, that's great as well, because that's 4,000 gold item that you basically have on your hero. And Leshrac stuns are also very usable, especially Splitter. Probably one of the best steals Rubik can steal. Spells Rubik can steal. I think I said that right.
Yeah, you did. And a Chen picked up by Meteor Makers. They want to secure their own jungle hero before FUBAR would ban out anybody. That will mean that FUBAR can ban out other things than just jungle heroes. They ban out the Lycan. That is not something I would expect, but I guess if you see a lineup for Meteor Makers, they have Chen pushing power, Leshrac pushing power, and they just want to eliminate more pushing power, perhaps? Maybe. But it's not a ban I would be expecting.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of players use Lycan just yet. I think I did see one Lycan that worked out decently. I didn't necessarily think that he was the reason they won, but his options are still there. If you do pick him, his farming is slower, which is the important part. So he can't necessarily just solo the whole game and get insane GPM anymore, but he still has his options, especially when you get him into the mid game. He can farm just fine then. Yeah. Anti-Mage is the last ban. Sven made it all the way to the second round, so tons of carries banned from Meet Your Makers. Yeah. And FUBAR is all about the team fighters. Pretty much. Tidehunter is out, Panda's out. So they get their first pick, they're going to grab a Tiny right off the bat. Yeah, Tiny will be the draft.
I was quite surprised there wasn't a Wisp ban out, because I still think that FUBAR could go for a Wisp and then have a Tiny Wisp Rubik combination. Actually, yeah, and then Enigma mid? Actually, Rubik could go mid and then Tiny Wisp could go duo lane. That would be nice. Seeing an aggressive Rubik. Rubik against the Queen of Pain could actually do fairly decent there. But Meteor Makers, they could also still pick up that Wisp, and then, I don't know, what do they pick up together with that? Maybe a Ricky? No.
To counter the Tiny?
Yeah, but if they would pick up the Wisp now to deny it to FUBAR, but they can't anymore now, or at least not if unless FUBAR doesn't want to have the Wisp. But I kind of hope that they will.
Yeah, they really can't. Unless they played a solo Leshrac, which is semi-unlucky, they will be able to pick up the Wisp. They're just going to have to deal with that, I think. It's going to be a Tiny Rubik, Enigma Windrunner. They might pick up Wisp. It might not happen as well. They've got a Rubik to play support, Enigma Jungle, or unless they put Rubik mid, then they could grab a Wisp or do Wisp Tiny dual lane. But even without the Wisp, I think he still can be a pretty effective hero. He can counter push using Avalanche Toss. He can initiate as well. He can toss Enigma in. I mean, Enigma can just rush a BKB, and then they can toss Enigma in and have him Black Hole in very early parts of the game, which could also be pretty clutch out of FUBAR.
Yeah, but you're right, I guess. Rubik has got to be support, and Invoker will be mid in Enigma in the jungle, Windrunner long lane solo. Beastmaster, by the way, for Meteor Makers for their long lane solo, which will mean they only need something to go with that Leshrac. Dare I say Naga Siren?
She is still in the pool. Invoker was the last pick by FUBAR, so I guess that's going to be their solo mid. It'll be Invoker solo, Rubik Tiny dual lane, so they do not go for the Wisp there. And MYM, I was going to say Chaos Knight, Sven, whatever, but they're all banned by MYM instead. And they have to have something that can out-carry a Tiny, or at least will have good pushing power. Is Lone Druid still in the pool? Lone Druid is in the pool. They could do a Lone Druid perhaps. Lone Druid Leshrac dual lane isn't the worst thing in the world, as long as Leshrac pulls a lot. And that would give them enough pushing power to maybe take the game in the mid-game, which is where they're going to have to aim, I think. But even still, Tiny has late game carry potential, and he's really strong in the mid-game. So I'm not really sure what MYM is going to go for, but we'll hopefully see their battle plan come up in a sec.
Yeah, and they're taking their time, taking into the bonus time, and even if they might have already decided what they want to go for, maybe they're taking their time to decide how FUBAR is going to lane it and how they are going to lane it opposed to them. And they can just take their time away. I guess FUBAR has already used most of their time. They only had 20 seconds left when they picked up their Invoker. So Meteor Maker is actually using less time so far on the board in general. Oh. They've got mid-game as well. I mean, Meteor Makers. I mean, as soon as Beastmaster is level 6, you'll go out looking for a Roar, looking for a kill. Queen of Pain, same type of hero. Though I guess it's going to be level 8 or 9 for her, depending on when she picks up her Sonic Wave, which is, of course, a bit dependent on who you're going to be laning against.
I think they are going to be limited by Rubik's aura, though. Because once he gets the levels of No Field up, Queen of Pain's damage is going to be reduced, Leshrac's damage is going to be reduced, even some of Beastmaster's damage is going to be reduced, and whatever carry they ended up picking, I mean, I don't think they know what to do here. They've got 10 seconds left, and they're trying to figure out what carry do we grab to try to win this game. Is it going to be a Faceless Void, or something else weird? Ricky Maru, like you said, is a possibility, and they go for a Clinks, so they'll use a Clinks against FUBAR here, going for Orchid Silence and maybe some good team fight. It's a decent hero against Tiny because he has a lot of physical damage, and you won't be proccing Craigie Exterior, so let's see if they can make it work.
Do you actually expect Clinks to be on a solo lane now?
I think he'll be safe lane with Leshrac. Leshrac will be pulling, Chen will be jungling. They'll be able to push relatively fast with this because Clinks has a lot of damage obviously, but I don't know, we'll see how it goes. He actually went to lane with no regen at all, just Wraithband double Ironwood branch. He feels that safe in his lane, so
Okay, I just realized that I hadn't put you in the overlay yet as a co-caster, so I will just do that right now.
Go for it.
Okay. So find the right title and activate. Done. Okay, so, sorry, missed that. Did you already introduce some people?
I did not. Would you like to start?
Yeah, I'll go over Meet Your Makers. I'm already following Dick Links. We see Koik5 going to be playing Dick Links. For Meet Your Makers, Atsi is going to be playing the Leshrac. We see Calculus on his Queen of Pain will be going into the mid lane with the Nino playing the Chen, and on the top lane we'll have a solo Beastmaster played by a stand-in, and he is winning for Austria. That is I win for Austria there on the Beastmaster, and we see already, ooh, Chen on some dangerous ground there. I mean, there's a telekinesis close by. There's already going to be a ward being placed by the Rubik here to make sure there's not going to be an ancient camp here, and just give that Beastmaster a tough time on that top lane. And will probably be counterwarded though. I mean, they saw them coming. There is a Chen. I'm not sure if they can find it though. Look at the position.
I saw the pings from Queen of Pain though, so the sentry's on the low ground here. He's going to try to contest the haste rune. Actually, Rubik might be able to fight this here, but it will be within range, but he's not going to be able to spot the observer ward unless he eats a tango, I think. Unless he can he see it? He's looking exactly where it's at, so he knows where it probably is, but he doesn't have the vision. Maybe he can spot it from the opposite side. If he gets around next to these trees, I think he might be able to de-ward it, but we'll see what he does. Might send the Beastmaster over. He's got a tango, so he'll probably check for it. And I did see this observer ward as of yesterday for the first time, but considering the pings from the Queen of Pain, I expect that they're going to find this immediately. And it's very important that they do get this ward de-warded here. And here it comes. Axes it is, and there it is. Finds the observer ward, and that's got to feel good.
Yeah, that's not wasted mana, not wasted sentry ward, and they cleared out a lot of trees. This is actually quite nice.
I didn't know that this connected all the way around. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I see that being used sometime.
New juke spot in the future.
Definitely. So yeah, sorry, you go for FUBAR, because we didn't do that yet.
Okay.
I guess.
CHW Dota is playing the Tiny on the top lane, being supported by Zap Crash on the Rubik. Jungling Quicks playing the Enigma. Mid lane is going to be Phaelets playing the Invoker, and on the bot lane we have ETA playing the Windrunner. That's Team FUBAR.
Yep. And we will be seeing Windrun already getting harassed a lot. Picked up the first level, of course, of Windrun. Maybe able to at least dodge some attacks going on. Atsi trying to force something out. There's no ward there, but she, guess she did notice it with the creeps standing very close towards where the Leshrac was. They're gonna run into each other. More harassment to come out. Windrun being activated. Leshrac still hitting though. There's not gonna be any support for him, and he's only level 1, so this is just harassment. We will not be able to get a kill, but does force Windrunner to eat yet another tangle, even pop herself. Only one tangle left for ETA.
Yeah, that's great support harass. This is something that we've been seeing over the last couple months, is that support heroes have been getting really good at harassing long lanes like that. And to make things perfectly, look at that. He harasses the Windrunner. He immediately comes up and doesn't even miss his stack. It's such good play. And he's going to try to harass ETA again. And I mean, players really have gotten a lot better at harassing this. He's going to not get a lot of experience, but he guarantees Windrunner doesn't. And as soon as Clinks is highly leveled here, once Clinks has a level or two over the Windrunner, he can easily solo against the Windrunner, and then Leshrac can go gank, he can go do other things, he can just pull, and he doesn't have to worry about Windrunner getting, or at least contesting the farm from Clinks.
And Leshrac could even go together with the Chen to get some experience there. Chen, who's level 3 so far. I mean, I guess he's farming against the Enigma. Ooh, I hear a Sunstrike. There might be a first blood here in this mid lane. Calculus gonna try to blink away, but 5 seconds left. There is no miss from the low ground, and the last hit comes from Quicks getting the first blood, and it is the Beastmaster that could not do anything with that. Still level 1, threw out 1 axis, but that is it. And the first blood going to FUBAR, and fails getting the advantage over the lane. He's got 6 for 5 last hits. He was not... well, actually, Queen of Pain on 5 for 8, so they're both not getting that many last hits so far. And Queen of Pain already back now on full HP on mana.
That was a really nice play by Phaelets. I thought he was going to be the one that was going to die here, but he ended up just baiting Calculus into the Sunstrike and the Cold Snap, and Enigma shifted over to help finish off the Queen of Pain. She doesn't have a whole lot of armor, so the right clicks from Phaelets really did do a lot of damage. And he's also started off with the Null Talisman, by the way, with the Blades of Attack. I don't know if he got regen transferred in, but he has gotten some nerfs in terms of base damage recently, Invoker I'm talking about. And with just Exhort, he's now hitting fine, but at the early couple last hits, it can be very tough to make sure that you get some farm. So very cool that he grabbed a Null Talisman to give himself 9 damage. Yeah,
because the Blades of Attack just got flown in by the courier, I think. So he only has that recently, of course, to start towards his face boots that he want to have to ensure some more last hits there. As we have on the top lane, I mean, Tiny is just free farming away. He's got 17 last hits. He's not doing as well as the Clinks, who is, of course, also free farming and harassing Windrunner as he goes. Windrunner, who's still level 1 and is only now getting some experience, and now she's level 2. So still, well, getting delayed in levels very well a lot, because Klinks is still is already level 4 and she's now level 2, so that's quite painful. Leshrac in the meantime level 3, so also out leveling the Windrunner there, and that's going to be dangerous for that Windrunner. She has no vision whatsoever either.
We're seeing Chen trying to jungle up a stacked large camp, but he is getting his creeps killed. He's actually stacking camps all over the place, actually. Look at all these camps being stacked. This will accelerate his farm as long as he is able to get the kills, though. And he's going to spawn a satyr at this long camp. It's going to die pretty fast, though, and I'm surprised he's right-clicking so much with this kind of weird play from him. He's kind of wasting a lot of mana, actually. He's on cooldown for 20 seconds, and I don't really know why he's doing that. I'm confused right now.
Yeah, you kind of expect him to want to have a wildkin or something just to be able to get that tornado going, but he does. There's no camp yet that has that.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's waiting for here, trying to be greedy with the wildkin, but for now he's going to stack up the large camp again, going to do the main large camp. Yeah, I mean, why would he take a satyr if he's just going to let it die? He wastes the mana, he doesn't get any gold out of it, kills maybe one camp. He's going to be able to grab this camp at least. This is a troll spawning this time, so not what he wants either. But he might get a second clap out of this. No, it's actually just going to die. He doesn't get a whole lot of farm out of this. It's going to leave a lot of stuff for Klinks to ulti, but they don't have a whole lot of AoE on their team. Maybe Queen of Pain can come kill these later or something, but at the moment I don't really understand what he's doing.
No,
I
and
guess
with
he is
him
just hoping for Wildkin.
Yeah, with him just taking one creep and then ended up having it killed off, he's actually wasting gold because he's of course not getting the gold from the Holy Persuaded creep. He's only got now a small little centaur, so that's really not worth it for him right now. And now he takes another one. That's maybe a better one. Maybe he'll actually get a camp from that, perhaps. Ooh, smoke up for Quicks and Zap Crash. And they're gonna go towards the mid lane. Queen of Pain is the target. She will have a blink away though, but there will be a cold snap. In the meantime, Windrunner does die on the bottom lane, but we're gonna follow the smoke first, because well, we already missed one. Don't want to miss more.
Oh, he's gonna walk right into it. Malphite Sunstrike. Oh, he doesn't get the blink off.
Oh.
Cold snap did it.
Yeah, and it is the Rubik actually that got the last hit for that one. In the meantime, of course, Windrunner still level 2, went down to the Klinks. No real surprise though. Klinks level 7, 900 gold up on him. Already has his first Oblivion staff, now his second Quarter staff already. And Windrunner, I mean, she is still level 2. She is just a sad Windrunner right now. And maybe we would be better off with doing what we saw in the previous game, just getting those ancient skills.
It's going to be tough, though. She only has boots at the moment. Is she stacking this? She has stacked it at least once so far, so we'll get that farm later. But 135 damage now for every right-click from the Klinks. He even skipped boots so that he can get the Orchid up a little faster, and I think this is fine because he doesn't need that much movement speed to be able to kill the Windrunner. He really is just kind of looking for damage right now because it is going to give him absolutely uncontested lane presence. Plus, he doesn't even have to worry about regen items because he's got his ulti. Every time his ulti is up, if he's missing HP, he can boost his HP up temporarily, and once that removes, he'll get a giant heal out of it.
Yep.
So.
And smoke up from the Shrek. Windrunner looks to be the target once more. Question is, will we be able to get a stun off? Windrunner now level 3. It's got level 2 in her power shot. There will be a Leshrac coming off from the side. Pushing is coming from the creeps again. And I think they should be able to get the skill if Leshrac lands this stun. In the meantime, there's a ward. And there's a stun. And it's still gonna hit. Edict gonna hit as well. I'm not sure if that's even needed. One more right click needed. And it's Klinks again. That picks up the kill. Sunstrike though. Whoa! Gets the kill on the Leshrac. Nice one by Atsi. Sorry, by Failed. Because Atsi is the one that dies. It's not nice for him at all.
Yeah, that was a really sweet play there. It was an awesome play by the Leshrac as well. He's very confident with the Edict kill. He knew that he had to stay close for a bit to score it, but the Sunstrike EXP, that's going to go to Failets, and that's pretty solid for a solo mid invoker. Every bit of experience that you can get is so crucial, and Sunstrike does give you EXP, by the way, despite it being a global spell. So as he gets more EXP, they can closer to the Forge Spirits combo, and he hasn't died yet, by the way, so considering Invoker having some issues with buffs and nerfs, he's got 32 last hits and 22 denies versus Calculus's 22 and 13 Queen of Pain. He's dominating his lane right now, doing great.
Yeah, and he's been part of all 3 kills so far that have happened on the map because of his Sunstrike, of course. So, and at least getting 1 kill from that, so getting the experience from that without even having to leave his lane. He's level 8 indeed, and Queen of Pain level 6, so 2 levels difference between the two. And that might hurt Calculus, as he already spec'd his Sonic Wave though, so we might see him going aggressive fairly soon. With Beastmaster level 3, still will be a while before he can be as aggressive. He is gonna get a lot of levels from this Ancient stack though, which he is killing off right now, and he actually got level 4 and almost level 5 again already. Picked up boots, has his Soul Ring, and will probably not leave until we finished off all the Ancients that are here.
Oh, great blocking from Calculus. Made the Sunstrike though. There's the Stream and the Dagger now, but he's got Phase Boots. Great escape from him. He's just going to walk away from the Centaur. Here comes Rubik from the high ground looking for disables. First Centaur stun's going to land Malefice on Calculus, but he blinks at high ground also. That was a weird fight. A lot of running around the river there, but awesome pathing from Phaelitz, and he ends up surviving.
Yeah, nobody actually died, and Tiny leaving his lane for that and going away on very low HP and mana and not getting anything in return for that one. Not really what Meteor Makers want to have for that, but... Oh, can you hear me still?
Yes.
Oh, my Skype just said, haven't found a microphone. That's very nice.
Yeah, cut off for just a second, but I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Anyway, they just noticed that they had vision on the high ground, so they placed a sentry ward and cleared out that ward at least.
Wow. Klinks has his Orchid finished. 9 minutes, 40 seconds. That's a 4,000 gold item, by the way. Now, Windrunner's hiding under tower, but I think he can just grab this. And if he could just Orchids and 3 hits her, she's going to play it really safe, though. If she leaves the safety of the tower at all, she will die. And he's going to do it. I think he can do it right here. He doesn't have strafe, though. That's the difference. Here comes in. There's the silence. First hit, second hit, third hit. It's going to put her low. I don't know if it'll be enough, though. As the Orchid ends, 57 HP. She survives. Oh. Needed 4. If he had 1 level of strafe, though, could have gotten this kill. So maybe his skill build is an issue here. I don't really think he needs 4 levels of Skeleton Walk in the situation. He should have had 1 strafe, I believe.
Yeah, and that would have gotten the kill for sure. But he'll probably get that next level. Actually, he doesn't have really that much option otherwise. And as soon as he has that as well, the towers will be dropping very fast. Because, of course, Klinks can take down towers by himself. Who cares about, well, no backdoor protection on tier 1 towers, actually. Who cares about towers hitting him? He doesn't, for sure. Because as you already said, I mean, with his Death Pact, he will be able to get his HP back up again anyway.
Yep, and he's already sitting pretty high. Maybe that's why he didn't kill her, perhaps. She is back down here. Bracer's picked up. Here comes a power shot to slow the wave. And they're going to right-click the tower, but I don't think they'll take it on this wave, at least. In the meantime, the rest of the MYM is sitting mid. That's Beastmaster level 6. Ancients are mostly killed. A couple large ones left over here that he can't quite kill by himself. And it is a Eul Scepter is what Invoker's going for. So Phase, no Talisman with the Euls. Actually, the smoke being revealed as Phaelitz walks into it there. And he's like, oh, there's a bunch of heroes waiting to gank me. Guess they'll just back up. Kind of weird play by MYM.
Yeah, well, there's a Beastmaster already still there, still smoked. He has a roar now as well, as we have on the bottom lane. Tier 1 tower still drops. Centaur being placed instantly. Malefice as well. They want to get this Razor. Sunstrike will not hit anymore, and he is too fast away. He got his boots from the side shop earlier on, and will be able to get away safely there. No kills, and the tower still goes down. So that's a setback there, as we have Beastmaster still taking down the Invoker. That was, of course, the roar being used. And the Sonic Wave as well, really no escaping for Invoker. 3 versus 1, easy clear kill for Meteor Makers. And they might get a tower for this in return as well, even though there's going to be support incoming from FUBAR again from the back. There is a black hole up on the Enigma as well. He's got a mechanism as first item. And let's see what they're going to go for next.
Yeah, he'll spawn some Eidolons here, and he's got level 4 demonic conversions, so these do tons of damage. It's going to be hard for them to push into the tower, and that's one thing that FUBAR's been doing well, is trying to counter-push against the Chen as well as the Klinks, but bot tier 2 tower is going to be in trouble now. A lot of heroes missing there. Atsi taking a couple more tower hits. That's a slight mistake from him, as he's going to need the HP if the fight happens. Enigma's kind of waiting for Klinks to initiate here. He's got mech up, so he can heal the Windrunner if she gets dived on, but isn't going to happen here, as Klinks goes back into the jungle.
Yeah, I think they actually might have seen the Enigma with the ward that they have there, the Observer ward. Nicely placed though, like, makes it really easy for Klinks to just farm and back off when he sees that it's no longer possible. And Enigma just going back inside the jungle and continuing to farm. Rubik in the meantime picked up some boots, still warding. Let's take a look at more of the items, because I'm kind of curious. This Tiny, we haven't really seen Tiny. Tiny has 0 involvement in any kills so far. He's got 61 last hits. His net worth is still lower than that of the Enigma and of the Invoker though, which is quite surprising to see. And of course, I'm not even going to mention Klinks, because, you know, he's 2.5k almost above everybody else. But
yeah,
Tiny,
he's doing so well.
Tiny is considering he has had free farm, I'm kind of disappointed by his items. Yes, he's got phase boost, he's got drums. He's definitely not looking bad, but not as good as I thought that he would be looking.
Yeah, and is it him missing last hits or what? Who knows? Big silence on Windrunner. These are Chen creeps, by the way. They came all the way around. She's going to die to the Orchid. I mean, Chen didn't even want to go in close for that. He literally sent his creeps behind the Windrunner, and that was a silence with a couple nukes. That was a pretty cool little gank there. Very, very cool. But yeah, you're right. Tiny doesn't really have that great of items. He's got 0 kills. I don't know if he has a tower hit or not, but he is kind of limited. Just phase boots and a drum with 1,000 gold on top of that at 13 minutes for free farm. He must have been missing last hits because Klinks is sitting much higher than him.
Yeah, and he is, I mean, Tiny's have been having free from Beastmaster, of course, has been trying to do something there, but I think he got free from for the rest of it. Of course, right now is the time when normally you'd see Tiny most active, with level 4 Avalanche, with level 4 Toss, got 1 point in Growth. This is the point where he should be going around trying to get some kills going, but so far he's, well, he rather has free farm. Quite surprising. While Klinks is just having free roam, level 11 up on him right now, and now he has his first level in Strafe. Happy times.
So now he can burst down soldiers easily. Enigma's still playing safe to cover the Windrunner. It's the best bait ever, but the downside is that Enigma's spending so much time there that he's not getting farm himself. He's got the mech and the soul ring up, but he's wasted a couple minutes not farming the jungle. And if he were to just spend time in the jungle instead, he would have at least halfway to a Blink Dagger. He's close there now, but he would be a lot closer to a Blink than he would be.
Yeah, it's, I mean, he had the dust. He was really hoping to bait out that Klinks, but Klinks, I don't know, he just doesn't care. And he's actually taken the creep stacks that are here, there still, or at least one of them is still there, and he will be able to get some more from there. He's got 2k gold in his inventory, and is doing a nice job overall. And if we look at the gold graph, actually, it's still in favor of FUBAR, and that is something that is really worrisome for Meteor Makers. It means that all the farm on them is all on the Klinks. And if you look at the net worth graph, it is the Tiny, the Invoker, as well as the Enigma, who are all coming in second, third, and fourth. So the top 4, I mean, Klinks is topping that head and shoulders, but if that's an English saying as well, but
it is.
It is. Oh, good. I was just thinking, oh, is that a saying? Is that a saying? I hope it was. Well, but yeah, the rest of FUBAR is definitely still high up there as well. And they might actually get another tower here on this bottom lane. The towers were even and are gonna be put into favor of FUBAR unless the tier 1 tower, tier 1 tower mid still drops, so the towers will be even again once this tier 2 tower actually drops. And Tiny now level 10, picked up 1 level in the cracky exterior as well. Oh, wow, I don't think I've ever pronounced that one. Finally getting some armor. Ooh, and he wants to go on the Windrunner, actually decides to go. Oh! Klinks! He thought the tower would be dead with that, but so far not in the Sunstrike, and that will be quickfire. He will go down. Invoker picking up the kill. The Shrexon still hitting on the Invoker, and now Chen in a lot of trouble. Deafening Blast going through. Is there going to be more from the Tiny? The Windrunner picks up the kill, so that's another one for her. The Shrek on the way out, and there is a Tiny level 11. More armor or more grow for him. Toss back inside. Everybody off the dire side, and there's the 3 for 0 and the deny on the tier 2 tower. Sonic Wave going through though. Queen of Pain picking up the Windrunner. Invoker going down. Beastmaster using his ward and access to help that out, so at least they got 2 kills in return. But that Klinks, oh, he really wanted to get that tower. He's used Strafe, and the tower was like 1 HP. Windrunner picked up the deny. Can't believe that actually happened.
Man, that was really close. And then a great teamfight win for FUBAR. They got a little too aggressive. The bots are the Radiant side of the river, and then they lost 2, Invoker as well as the Windrunner. Queen of Pain showed up, Beastmaster threw his combo, barely enough damage to grab the Invoker, so that went pretty well for them. But even still, they had some great coordination to kill the Klinks there. Despite him going to Viz, they just nuked him down so rapidly. And he actually grabs the Yasha, surprisingly. Still no treads for him, so he's going to forego that, at least for now. Usually a very common Klinks item is the treads, but maybe he's just going to go straight Manta style. We'll see, but Yasha for sure. Movement speed and attack speed out of that.
Yeah, and that was actually, of course, the first time that he actually died. So a good fight for FUBAR. And their Tiny still hasn't died, and this fight actually got him 3 assists on kills. He didn't pick up any of the kills himself, so that's a bit of a downside, but he is 1 step closer to his Aghanims, which is going to be his item of choice. Just needs 1700 gold more, and then he has that one complete.
Yeah, that's not bad. 3 assists. He's getting up there. His net worth is approaching Klinks'. Klinks is still far in the lead by about a Yasha's worth, but he will peak off a little harder in a hard carry. He's not going to be nearly as strong in terms of AoE damage as the Tiny. He's going to do a lot more single target damage, and I definitely think he needs to grab a Black King bar this game, though. So that's going to delay his damage as well. Once he goes Orchid, maybe Manta BKB, or just Yasha BKB, his damage is going to peak off for about 5 minutes there, whereas Tiny's will continue to go up.
Yeah, and then Inkbat picking up a Blink Dagger right now. And Queen of Pain, actually, I don't know if you saw that, but she was almost dead. It's got a Toss Avalanche combination there. Whoa, Rubik just crossed her, finds, it's gonna ward again. Aegis? Or Ancient's ward? Yeah, there it is. But, Queen of Pain now seeing the Tiny. He's gonna have supports incoming as well. They find the Invoker first, though. No hope of survival for him. I mean, that's 5 versus 1 right there.
I think he's dead.
I think so too, yeah.
Silence and Roar. That was even overkill in my opinion.
Yeah,
Did he have a 4 staff? He had a Yule's, I guess. Maybe that's why. I guess it's worth it. If you silence and he uses himself, he could go invis, and that would be extremely problematic. So they throw it. Don't have to waste his sentry that way. Roar's pretty low cooldown anyways, only 80 seconds. And Beastmaster's slightly limited on mana, but it'll be fine. They're going to toss in to try to kill some of these creeps as Klink's right-click the tower. But I think FUBAR's going to be able to defend this. There's a big heal from Chen to keep his creeps alive. And they will back up from this, going to spread off and go off to farm. Calculus taking the top lane, and Klink's going to the bottom. Yep. He's going to maybe score a kill on Windrunner. She didn't see him out despite power shotting the guy. 3 seconds left for Strafe, and he's about to initiate in 1 second. Here it comes. There's the Strafe. There's the silence. ETA. I think you are dead.
Yep. That was a clear kill. Nice one for the Klinks to pick up. I mean, they might not have gotten the tower, but at least to get something. And that's 1700 gold already up on the Klinks. His farm is definitely there, and he is pulling ahead again of that Tiny. By miles. 3.
Is he really?
2.5k higher than a Tiny right now. Might be something on the courier. No, nope, nothing on the courier. Of course, that's not calculated in the net worth. And Beastmaster actually gonna try to stack this, but right now the ward from the disconnect. The ward from the Rubik is doing his job and making sure that Beastmaster's not gonna be able to stack this anymore. So no more free farm for him. Kind of free farm, I guess, in a way. He's building towards a pipe. He just needs the recipe for it. So 700 more gold to go. We have Chen's mechanism already completed. Of course, do we have a mechanism up on the Radiant side? Yes, we do. Of course, the Enigma got it earlier on. And we have an Invoker picking up an Ogre Club. Do you think he's gonna go for BKB? Or rather,
I think BKB is going to be very wise this game. It'll shut down all of Queen of Pain's magic damage. It's going to stop Klink's Orchid, as well as disables from Leshrac. Now, he still can get Beastmaster roared, and the Klinks can still right-click through this, but I think it's kind of necessary in some ways. It might be an Aghanim Scepter, but if it was an Aghanims, I would expect it to be a point booster first, rather than the Ogre Club. So I think it will be a BKB, and I'm going to say that's totally okay this game.
Yeah, because normally, like you said, normally Aghanims is the way to go, but you're right. I mean, Queen of Pain does a lot of the damage, and as long as Klinks is kind of offlane farming, the Invoker hasn't got to worry about him all that much. And I guess if you are indeed in a situation to ward off your own base as an Invoker, you want to stand a bit back. You want to be able to cast some spells off range, and then Sonic Waves and stuff still hit you, so maybe that's indeed the case. And Klinks actually bought something. Where is he?
Did he?
He picked up a Minthra Hammer.
Okay, so I think it's going to be BKB for sure.
Yeah.
Not going to be Desolator. Probably not going to be a Maelstrom. So that would override his Searing Arrow. So it's going to be BKB for sure. So he'll have the magic immunity. He won't have to worry about Malefice. Most importantly, probably Cold Snap, one of the nastiest abilities to carry. If you get Cold Snap during a team fight and you don't have magic immunity, you're going to be constantly mini-stunned. You're not going to be able to do the damage that you really need to do. And that's going to be a pain in the butt. No Shackles for him either. So at least one hero is most likely going to go down. And the hero he's going to be aiming for, probably every team fight, is Enigma, followed by Invoker. If you can take off Enigma, even if Enigma pops a BKB, then it's going to cleave right through him. But now Enigma did go Blink Dagger, so he's going to have better chances of black holes. But if Klinks can do his job correctly, he's going to be in a good position where he can kill Enigma despite him black holing.
Yeah, and actually looking at Meet Your Maker's lineup, there is only like the Leshrac and the Beastmaster that are the only two that can really interrupt that black hole.
Other than the Orchid.
Yeah, Orchid. Yeah. But like you said, I mean, if he blinks in, if he only has to get 3 rather than 5. It kind of helps. And of course, Chen wants to get that creep. He actually has one Centaur that can interrupt it as well, so might be able to interrupt it still. And well, we probably won't see BKB from that Enigma because of that Beastmaster. But maybe a Lincoln's will go off. I'm not sure actually. What do you expect Enigma is going to go for next? Maybe still a BKB?
It's hard to say whether he'll get BKB or not. I think he probably should just do it. Lincoln's would stop most of the disables coming out of MYM, but it's such an expensive item. It's about 5,000 gold, whereas BKB is only 3,900. So he could get it much, much earlier, and it's going to fit almost all of the things. Like, it's going to cover almost everything that MYM has. He's still going to have to worry about the Beastmaster, but his option is, you know, why not just Black Hole Beastmaster? If you can also Black Hole Beastmaster, then problem is solved, pretty much, with the BKB, that is. And it'll also stop Orchid. So
that's true.
I think it'll be wise to BKB.
That is very true. And it's gonna be well, the Beastmaster found out of course that there is a ward, so he probably won't be trying to do that again. And BKB now, talking about that one, completed up on the Queen of Pain, so she'll have that for the next fight that's happening. And in the meantime, they find the Klink. Shackle is there, Sunstrike as well, quite fun. That's no way to survive him for there's just no way for him to get away. Telekinesis, Sunstrike is just too much burst damage coming off, and he's not that survivable just yet. And that's why he needs to BKB, I guess.
Well, it was mostly just he was way out of position, and they had a gem, and not out of position in a negative way. He was looking for kills just like a Clink should be doing at this point, but FUBAR reacted the correct way, which is grab sentries or dust or gem, and you go find where the Clinks is trying to kill you, and then you shut them down. And that's exactly what happened. They hit him with all of their burst damage, and they got the kill. And Chen's actually going to feed all of his creeps here. This is really confusing. I have no idea why he just did that. Does he want new creeps? I'm not sure, but he's going to start over with one Centaur. I mean, it does give him vision on the enemy team, but like they're just gonna take Roshan now, and that was so weird.
Yeah, and I don't think that. Well, I don't think that Meteor Maker can now really try to contest this. Not with the tiny Zaganims completed, not with the black hole off cooldown for Enigma, and of course, I mean, Roshan's pit is one of the better places to land that black hole. But so far, nobody is getting it, I guess.
He did perhaps scare them away from Roshani by sacrificing his creeps like that, at least in the sense that they were like, wow, they know that we're here, and we know that they know that we're here. But I think he might have been able to do that without losing creeps. And the Hawks going to go scout things out. They now see Roshan is not being attacked. Goes down to about 6,000 HP, but then they leave it there. And I'm surprised they didn't just force it. Clinks was gone. I think they should have taken that Roshan there. I think that was a mistake.
Yeah, FUBAR definitely had the upper hand there for sure. But I guess the unknown Meteor Makers could, maybe if they get a good Sonic Wave, good Leshrax on good Roar, maybe they would be able to do some damage, and FUBAR just not willing to give anything away right now. As we look at the gold graph, it's actually dead even right now. An experience graph also, no real difference, slightly in favor of FUBAR, with actually 1 kill in favor of Meteor Makers, but yeah, now 1k in favor of FUBAR for experience. It's nothing. In the meantime, bottom lane, we'll get some harassment. Roar going off on the Enigma, Sonic Wave going through, and Roar being stolen by the Rubik and being put on the Beastmaster. Mechanism helping out, but the black hole catches 4 heroes of Meteor Makers. Enigma will pay for that though. Gem of Truth dropping on the floor. Chen will go down to the Tiny. Leshrac will go down to the Invoker, and now Deafening Blast, Queen of Pain. Only option is Blink away. 2 for 2 with that brilliant black hole. It ended up 2 for 2. That is not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah, it was a perfect black hole, catching 4 heroes on the very outer side of it, but the problem was that FUBAR didn't have their damage sources there while the black hole happened. It really just bought them 4 seconds to get Tiny there. If it wasn't for the black hole, they would have just lost those heroes immediately, and Tiny wouldn't have gone in. He would have been like, well, we just lost all of our heroes, I can't actually initiate on this. He was able to clean up the Chen at least, but even still, things got a little scary for him. So, breaking even there, that's the black hole, cooldown for 160 seconds, and maybe if MYM's smart, they would go try to contest Roshan.
Yep, and the ward is actually being destroyed in that fight, so that is a big setback for FUBAR, as I don't think they have the cooldown. Yeah, the gem, yeah, sorry. 6 minutes on the gem cooldown, so they will have to do without and have to continue warding and dusting for now.
They got 1 kill on the Clinks, but that's not really worth it. Just 1 kill versus him is not going to pay things off. And he bought items as well. It's going to be BKB is finished, so BKB finished on Clinks. His damage is going to be ready. He's not going to stop auto attack in team fights unless he gets black hole. That's the only way. Yeah, and
something, I mean, you look at net worth and you see Clinks on top of that, but that's even without the items that are on the courier right now, which is another 2,300 gold going the way of the Clinks. And now he actually is, well, he is very much ahead of that Tiny. Almost said Tinker there. And Tiny actually picked up the Blade of Leprosy, so he's going to go for that Manta Cell most likely. And they are indeed going to go for Roshan, knowing that the black hole is on cooldown. They know that everybody in FUBAR is alive though, and FUBAR, I think they should know that Roshan is being attempted. Sunstrike is going to scout it out for sure.
I know, he's just farming skeletons, that's all he's doing. Not scouting. Got a skeleton kill with his Sunstrike. Best way to get gold. And they're going to put it down, 3,000 gold. There's the strafe and Silence as well. What are we watching, Dire Tide right now?
Yep. By the looks of it, just taking down Roshan. And that's the Rubik. What did he steal? He stole the Scream. Nice to have, but Roshan will still drop. Clinks will still pick up the Aegis. Meteor will still fall, trying to do what he can from the Invoker, but I don't think that's a good idea. Now they know that he's here. They have the Roar. They're not going to go chase it though. They're not going to go force out a team fight. They have the Aegis. They want to plan it perfectly so that they make the most out of that Aegis up on the Clinks right now.
So maybe they will do some smoke ganks or farm for a little bit, then turn into smoke ganks. I'm not quite sure. Atsi is also going BKB, and then Nino is just sitting on a mech with boots, possible arcane boots to follow this up. And the Beastmaster is at 800 gold plus pipe. So they're all sitting at okay farm. Calculus has a BKB as well, so really most of their farm is focused on the Clinks, like we pointed out earlier.
Yep.
So Queen of Pain's not going to have to worry about dying now, since she will have the match community. So either way, most of their core heroes won't have to worry about ganks. Here comes the toss possibly. No, Malphus on Calculus. He pops the BKB, and he's going to keep him alive for sure. Pops the bottle. He farms the creep first, and then goes for the TP. So it cost him a BKB charge, but he was definitely dead if he didn't pop that.
Yeah, and Lyson, well, he seemed pretty secure in getting away there, to be fair. And in the end, getting away unscratched. And it is going to be for Invoker and Aghanims being built up on him. He just needs a couple hundred gold, or actually just not even. He needs 30 gold to pick up his orb, and then he will be having that complete. So maybe at the time that he picked up the Ogre Club, he was of course almost dying. So maybe he just picked it up before he went down. Could be the case. But not going for that first is of course something that we don't normally see. Maybe trying to throw off their opponents off guard as well, they find out some wards here from the Radiant side. Sentry ward is still there though. Invisibility rune, or maybe it was a smoke for the Beastmaster. No, it was invisibility being already popped off since you knew that they saw him already anyway. And are they gonna go mid? They are. 5 heroes for Meteor Makers moving towards the mid lane. Tier 2 tower gonna be the target.
One Sunstrike to start things off on Clinks and make him a little scared. They're going to steal a spell. It's going to be Strafe on Rubik. Can't wait to see this. And, well, Tiny wants to catch somebody. Almost a blink. Calculus blinks high ground. Shackle is going to latch, but he's way out of danger. Got his blink off first. And they do want to fight this. One earned charge on Clinks. His ulti's about to run off, so any bonus damage that he has, as well as HP, are gone. He's going to have to use this on one of his creeps, or maybe even one of the Chen creeps to get a big heal. But now that Ursa's right-clicked on him, I don't think he's going to want to do this. It's not quite enough HP, perhaps. We'll see. He is going to use it. There it is. Ursa being used.
Yep, and that should spell like a big team fight coming off. I don't think that Meteor Makers wants to go back off after doing that, but I mean, there's an Enigma that they're running into. Enigma has the blink dagger, so we'll be able to get a good black hole off if he gets the positioning off. If, of course, Meteor Maker is gonna have another shackle on Calculus. He's getting really unlucky. But we're gonna see it. I mean, Tiny Avalanche going through as well. Tower already down though. They lock in Fields on this in a net, but he will be able to back out. And FUBAR getting forced back slowly but steadily. No positioning yet for Quicks to land a black hole. I guess once they have that, they would have initiated, but they can't find it.
Yeah, they're all spread out really evenly. They set Calculus on the high ground, waiting for the blink initiation. Clinks was kind of just doing right-click from safety, but even if they would have jumped on him, he had BKB as well. So the likelihood of them dying was pretty low there, plus Aegis. And if anything, I think that was very smart from FUBAR. Rather than trying to force the fight and defend the tower there, they just say, we'll play it safe. If they get out of position, we'll jump on them. But we don't want to force the fight, because we know they're going to have Aegis. And if we just let them take the tower and nobody dies, they're going to lose the Aegis as the timer runs out. And it will run out eventually here.
Yeah, and actually only 6 minutes now, which does force Meteor Makers to maybe be a bit more aggressive before it actually runs out. Let's see, we only have, well, it's halfway there. We only have 3 minutes to 2.5 left, and they are smoking up indeed. They want to make the best out of that, but it is in a pain that already TPs towards the mid lane, because Tier 1 Tower gonna get a rest. Fortification is already active. They want to come in from behind, and they will not be able to do it though. I don't think so anyway. Smokes are still up. Where's the initiation? No, blink away from the Rubik. Shackle doesn't latch. And they will not be able to get it. Oh, Roar going off on the Invoker actually. Gonna get forced up forward by his teammates. BKB on Sonic Wave hits, and that's a black hole! It catches out 4 heroes of Meteor Makers. One goes down. Leshrac, the first one to go. Chen gonna be the second one to go to the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain picks up the Tiny. Of course, Queen of Pain on the other team. Zapcrash now blinking away once more after stealing that from the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain blinks after that though. Buyback from the Tiny, who went down in there as well. And we will see them backing off again. But an even fight once again. 2 for 3, of course. Getting a Tiny and only picking off 2 supports is not really ideal for FUBAR. But again, not as big of a massacre as I was expecting it to be in favor of Meteor Makers.
Yeah, the black hole was great once again, but I think the main issue is that the Invoker got caught out and took a ton of damage before the black hole came. And even though the black hole costs so many heroes, and it usually does take somebody to initiate it on for you to get clumping like that, he still lost almost all of his HP, and despite that, the Queen of Pain blinked right after the black hole and finished him off. So they still lost the Invoker despite the awesome black hole, and after that, Clinks just started right-clicking everybody, and the carry potential from Tiny just quite isn't there yet. He's got phase and Aghanims, but his attack speed is not very high. At best, he can do some mediocre cleave at this point. Sunstrike's going to try to slow him down. Actually, it's going to land on Calculus, sorry. Calculus wants to go, and he's going to eat a Tiny combo, and I don't think he wants to do that.
Nope, I'm glad I'm not the only one that makes those kinds of mistakes. Like, thinking this from a different team, the abilities that come out.
Oh, good.
I do that sometimes. It's
Tiny was standing right there. It's obvious, right?
Yeah, he was. But the TPs are gonna come in as well. I mean, there's gonna be that was actually the last tier 1 tower is still standing, and there's now still 2 towers in favor of Meteor Makers. And well, I think FUBAR really needed that tier 1 tower going down. That means that the Roshan disadvantage that they have gotten by having all their towers being taken down and turned that into an advantage for Meteor Makers, that advantage that Meteor Makers there had is now gone again, and now Roshan is even once more, I guess, for the next version that's going to be there, if that makes sense. It's almost, well, 6 minutes are gone actually. There is no more ages up on the Clinks, and 1600 gold up on him. He picked up a Crystallis, so gonna go for crit first rather than finishing up his Manta style, and is looking for blood in the bottom lane. He's just gonna continue farming there, however.
Or Monkey King Bar is another option, because he's up against a Windrunner, and that's a hero that has been able to slightly evade him in the past. But Daedalus is still a great choice as well. It's great against BKB heroes, especially, I find, because they pop BKB and they're like, okay, I'm not going to take stuns, I'll probably be okay. And then he crits you for 800 damage and you lose 70% of your HP. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh god, I pop mech and I can maybe black hole, but I'll probably get killed. So that's when things get really scary for them. Tiny's going Manta style, I saw him pick up an Ultimate Orb, and the other hero, Faylette's picking up an Ogre Club, and now he probably is thinking, I really wish I had a BKB in that last fight rather than a Negative Scepter. Because if he had it, if you're out of position, you pop the BKB during the mini stun, and then bam, you're fine. No magic damage from Queen of Pain, something like that would have kept him a lot more alive. So
yeah, that would have definitely made a change in that fight for sure. Sunstrike is gonna hit somewhere. It's gonna actually hit on the Clinks. Just harassment though. 2100 gold up on him, as the smoke gank that we just saw up from FUBAR really didn't work out at all. Weren't able to find anybody and just couldn't continue farming in the jungle. FUBAR thinking that they can take the late game if their Tiny just gets big enough. I'm not so sure though.
And Roshan is still dead, by the way. They're looking for heroes. Clinks is going to try to find somebody. He'll find Tiny, but Tiny is really fast now. He's actually full movement speed using phase in the Manta style. So he will not be hard to, or he's going to be really hard to catch from here on out.
Yeah, and for now, I mean, Meteor Makers, they're at a bit of a blank spot. Normally you'd go for all the towers and then for the Roshan, but everything of that is already down. I don't feel like they can push into the tier 3s without actually having won a fight. And they are kind of ready to fight. They want to have a fight so that they can take the advantage to take a tower, but well, they're being forced to continue to farm for now because FUBAR is just being very careful right here. And they're sticking together as well.
It's very smart, especially against the Clinks. You're expecting him to be roaming around. They don't have a gem yet, so they can't actually feel safe. They have a couple sentries on the map, but it's very wise to stick together if you know that the enemy team has an invis hero, because you will be able to at least jump up on him if he ends up showing himself. We see a disconnect from Rubik actually, no pause quite yet. We'll see if they're actually going to just micro him. I mean, it is just a weak support here. It looks like he's right-clicked on Quicks right now, and they're not too worried about it. MYM's asking for a pause, and Tiny's going to do it. So they're like, okay, fine.
Yeah. If you want to wait for our teammates, okay, then we will too. Yeah. Beastmaster actually going for an Aghanims now.
Very good build.
I like that the Clinks actually, everywhere he walks, he gets a Sunstrike in his face, like every single time. It's like a nice harassment. Wow. There is, of course, a ward there from the Dire side, so they do scout him out, but I do like it. He's like on half HP, just from the Sunstrikes that he has been getting since he walks around and gets hit by them. He finished his Daedalus, by the way.
Just 800 damage crits, no problem. Yeah. That's pretty good. He's still going to heal up a lot. Watch his HP right now. He's going to be like 80%.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty good. He just needs to ulti. Yeah, but at the HP removal, or the Death Pact, when the Death Pact runs out, it doesn't heal him based on a percentage like it would happen if you're tread switching. It actually just cuts off the top total, so if he's missing whatever the HP he gained from it, he'll just get it all back, so he'll be full healed. And as he pops another ulti in the jungle, if there's any creeps anywhere on the map, man, he will be able to heal back up to full again. So I'm sure he's not too phased by the nukes. He's probably just like, wow, that guy hates me. Really hates me.
Alright, yeah, you can use it as, okay, they got a ward there because he just saw me. Could be something nice and useful. So we're probably gonna have the next fight only until Roshan is back up, which by the way is almost. We're only like 15 seconds away from that one, so we might see a fight shortly. As indeed the Gem of True Sight that was purchased by the Chen is now being used by the Beastmaster to counter ward the ward that scouted out the Clinks, which made the failed able to land a Sunstrike on the Clinks in the first place. So a nice giveaway there, I guess, in a way.
I do love the Aghanims on Beastmaster, by the way. First of all, the extra range that you get from it and the cooldown reduction. I think the cooldown, yeah, it's 45-second cooldown instead of 70 at max level. You go up to 900 range instead of 600, so the initiation is much easier. But most importantly, well, maybe it's not most importantly, but another added aspect that I love is that it's generally a very tanky item. You get 200 HP from the point booster, you get 190 from Ogre Club, and this stacks so well with the pipe. You already have tons of magic resistance and survivability, and you just grab a tanky item that also serves as utility. I just love that interaction between the two things.
Yeah, it's usually something that, or at least for myself, that I overlook. Like, if you pick up an Aghanims, you do it for the increased ultimate, of course, but it gives so much more than that. It is indeed a really nice item, as we're gonna see definitely Blast coming up from the other side. The Hawk being killed off with that, but Invoker being turned into a piglet, and there is the Kling Strafe is there, but he will be able to back out, should be able to back out, will not be able to back out, but there's a black hole. Catches into Enigma, though. There's no follow-up. Roar going off. Shackle selection on Ati, who's going down to the Tiny, but Queen of Pain. Triple kill for Calculus, and it might actually be more as Windrunner tries to get away. Will still go down. Ultra kill for Calculus, and that is every single kill that went down on FUBAR. Every single death is going the way of Calculus, with only the Rubik surviving, and he wasn't even there for that fight. Or was he? No, he was not.
Wow.
He was not. That will be a Roshan.
Even if he was, I don't know if that would have gone well for them. I mean, Invoker was picked off again. Once again, another situation where he really needed Black King Bar, and he's going to be looking at this game and saying, I have to go BKB next time. Because that's exactly what lost him this game, in my opinion. Because he got initiated on the first time. The second time, once again, also got initiated on. But I guess, you know, you could solve that problem by not being out of position, but he got jumped on and he died, took almost all of his damage without casting a single spell, and then from there you're fighting 3v5 actually. The Enigma tried to save him with the black hole and it wasn't enough.
Yeah, and I think actually it was a surprise side device up on the Queen of Pain. That they didn't know yet that she had a great initiation, of course, from Calculus, who needs a Roar as an initiator when you have that one. As, well, one side of Rex goes down. Let's see if FUBAR can defend their second one. Yule Scepter up on the Chen. Deafening Blast and Meteor as well. Nice shackle here on the Klings and Calculus, but are they going to be able to get them away? I don't think so. Roar going off on the Rubik, and now turnaround from Klings. Pops his BKB. Still, though, he has the Aegis, will be used as well as Calculus has to blink away from this one. Should be fine. Toss after her, and actually still gets the kill as well. Avalanche up on Koikfa, who doesn't have his BKB anymore. Shackle doesn't left, tries to get away, takes a lot of damage from Sweer, and one more hit, and the Sunstrike not even needed anymore as Klinks goes down. 3 heroes going down on the side of Meteor Makers, and I guess they regret of trying to be greedy, trying to go for double racks rather than just backing out after the one that they got for free.
Yeah, that was a little greedy, but they still do get the mid racks. Klinks is going to have buyback, 3,500 gold. I don't know if they'll have enough time to push in, but they're going to have to be scared because Tiny is the best counter pusher when the enemy heroes are dead. You can just drop towers or Raxes if you can get close to them. And look at that, 3 hits and he clears a creep wave. But they're going to be up 2 of the heroes at least are going to be up in 30 seconds. Sunstrike on the Nito, what is he doing in the jump? Oh, he's an easy kill for Quicks there. Blink Dagger, Gem, he's just dewarding, and this is going to look like some dead neutrals as well.
Yep. And that will be the gem back on Enigma. I mean, he didn't even have to buy it himself, as of course Chen was the one that had the gem from the Beastmaster again after Beastmaster dewarded earlier. Haste up on the Tiny, and it might actually turn out to be still a tier 1 tower going down, a tier 2 rather, because that is actually something that FUBAR still has to do. If they, like you said, do indeed win a fight, they have to do more than just push the lane in. They still have 2 towers to take down on the tier 2 tower, so they might actually give Meteor Makers a bit of extra leeway if they indeed lose a fight again like they just did.
Yeah, they really can't lose too many more fights though.
Nope.
Tiny can get pretty insane. He's got AC finish now. AC Phase, Manta Drum, and Aghanim Scepters. And not only, we didn't see this last game, but he didn't get that AC finish in the previous game, but he's got Manta and AC, so his attack speed is actually going to be fantastic. And throw that together with his already high base damage, and he's actually been doing good damage against Klinks. Klinks with BKB up, it's kind of the same situation Tiny's in. Avalanche goes in on Calculus, he pops the BKB that keeps him alive, but almost gets killed regardless.
Yeah, I like that initiation. Tiny just tossed the Rubik in with the telekinesis instantly so he couldn't blink away, but the burst damage wasn't enough and the BKB had time to pop, so she was able to blink away. We did see Koikva trying to do something still there, but wasn't able to do it, or wasn't able to risk it, let's put it that way. He's got his Manta style now finished together with the Daedalus. Curious to see what he's going to go for next. As you already said, I think that an MKB would be a really good item for him next. But look at the damage that he's already pumping out. It is quite insane. 760 crits going off for him. 1k gold in his inventory right now.
I almost think he needs survivability against the Tiny. Because if he does get caught when he's not invisible, Tiny can actually kill him, at least not fast, but he can do damage. And if you grab something like a Butterfly, it would limit, he wouldn't have as much burst damage or utility hitting heroes like Windrunner, but he would have the evasion. And if he has the evasion against a Tiny, he could actually stand and fight Tiny, I believe, and probably beat him. So I'm not sure if he'll do that. MKB is going to allow him to shut down the Windrunner. He can also then mini-stun Enigma if Enigma's channeling Black Hole. But we'll see what he does. He might just go for the MKB to be a little bit more safe, maybe, I think is probably the way to go. Butterfly could possibly cause problems with him not doing enough damage.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the gold graph. We have a 41-minute game with only 2,500 gold in favor of Meteor Maker, which is accidentally also the gold that they have, well, a bit more, I guess, from the towers that they have in favor of FUBAR. And it's quite interesting to see. Of course, there was a big spike up after that team fight in mid, where everybody of FUBAR just dropped to the Queen of Pain, apart from Rubik. But actually, with the kills that FUBAR did in return, they went back to where they came from, 2,500 gold. And for experience, it actually went back to 0 after that point. Of course, killing off heroes that have more experience for a FUBAR gave them a lot there, and it's back to 0. It is still, anything could happen in this game.
It definitely can go anyway. Beastmaster is 16 now, so his ulti is as good as it's going to get. He's got shreds coming as well, so he'll have some decent damage. ETA is working towards a sheepstick. She's actually very close to that. 33,000 gold on top of that. And they're still kind of farming the Radiant Jungle. The attack speed from Tiny is looking scary, though. If he grabs a crit after this, man, that is when Tiny is intense. Starts critting entire waves down, things like that.
Yeah, he doesn't have any, like... He will still get roared, he will still get stunned, he will still get hexed as well. If they can do that and nuke him down in the meantime and not use everything they have on Invoker, which they did before, the roars and the hexes, they will be able to get Tiny down, definitely. But they need that initiation to be there, and they also need, like, if they don't initiate on the Invoker, what is the Invoker gonna do in that fight then? That is not gonna be safe at all either, so they have to make a good choice. And maybe, hopefully for them, catching Invoker out of position once more. But Invoker now has his BKB ready, so maybe initiating on him is not even going to be a choice anymore, since they won't be able to do it. Not with the Hex, anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be slightly limited, at least. But even still, they have great damage output. I don't know if they have to worry too much here. It's all about getting caught. Whoever initiates on who. Both teams have decent initiations. You've got Beastmaster Roar, and you've got Black Hole from FUBAR, so... I think it can really go either way as both teams just continue farming. Queen of Pain will be close to her next major item, BKB Hex. I'm guessing this will maybe be a Shiva's Guard or something as a possibility, or even something like, I don't think a Lincoln's. It's probably too late for a Lincoln's, but no. Any item purchase from Clinks? Nothing yet. Still sitting on regular boots. Oh, he finished Manta, excuse me. That's new since I last looked. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
And the Dire team playing it safe, just dewarding a little bit. Phaelets has BKB. And by the way, he's almost quas maxed out. He actually doesn't have any Wex levels other than the first one. So he's just trying to make his Forge Spirits really, really good, as well as his Deafening Blast. Those are the two spells that he's looking to profit. And Cold Snap, of course.
And another Sunstrike on Koikfa, who's probably by now is getting really annoyed by all the Sunstrikes that happen on him. They're actually going to be going down to mid lane again. Quite surprising since that one's already done. And yeah, now going to rotate. Maybe towards the bottom lane. Maybe they can finish off the Windrunner here, but Windrunner smells trouble. TP's out in the meantime. TP back in from the Clinks towards the top lane, defending that push in that Tiny was orchestrating. He's TPing out, of course. Gets some illusions still that might do some damage here to Koikfa. Look at those illusions. Actually doing a lot of damage on this Clinks, and they are very tanky as well. That's half his HP gone.
That was impressive. Part of the reason they did so much is because the illusions do apply to AC aura, so he was getting -5 armor there, but that was still impressive damage. That was pretty crazy. He's up to 3,800 gold. Someone's getting hexed spot lane. It's Atsi, shackled to the tree, easy kill on him. That was a blink gank there, I believe.
Yep, and the Hex was there from the Windrunner as well to help out. No escaping for him. The Sunstrike didn't hit, but it didn't need to hit either. Just a clean kill on this might spell the tier 2 tower bottom maybe going down there. This is not going to be enough defense unless Meteor Makers wants to take a fight 5-on-4. But maybe Meteor Makers is going to try to force out a TP towards the top lane if they're going to try to take a tower there. Of course we have Koikfa on the top lane trying to do something, but he's not going to be in time. And they're not going to be they're not even going to have time to do anything there. Tower drops like I don't know. Very fast, like a twig. breaks like a twig.
Pretty easy kill.
Yeah.
On the Wildkins, and the Nino's the only hero that's really set up other than Beastmaster, of course. Will they TP back? They're just going to shift back. Roshan is up in about a minute, so that may be the next place that the teams end up converging on. But any new items here? Looking for BKB on Enigma, nothing. He's got 3,800 gold, so he could afford it very soon. I don't think he doesn't really have the item slots. Might have to sell his soul ring or something, but...
Yeah, I'm still curious to see what the Tiny's going to go for. He's now got 5,100 gold in his inventory. It's getting more and more, and so far not buying anything yet. I mean, I guess that he wants to save for buyback as well. I mean, I don't blame him.
The game is very close. If they get picked out, if he gets picked off by himself, then that would be really bad for his team. He's definitely the biggest damage source right now. It's not even close. He's going to buy BKB, so Magic Community is what he goes for. He's going to play it safe. Doesn't want to worry about Queen of Pain damage. It also gives him HP. It's not a terrible damage item. It gives him 34 damage. Not much of it is being applied to his illusions, but
yeah, it will stop him from getting
mostly
Hex
for the
as well.
immunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Hex silenced, nuke damage, stuns from Leshrac. Still can't get roared, but there's a lot of really good roar targets now on FUBAR's team. Yep. And how many BKBs do they have? 1, 2, 3. 3 BKBs total on FUBAR, 3 on the raiding team MYM. So BKBs are very crucial.
Yeah, Roshan back up again. Look at Killings though, it might be gone before FUBAR actually noticed something. It actually will be. There it goes. Avalanche still hits though. Will someone steal the Aegis? It will be Queen of Pain that picks it up, so Radiant team still picks it up. Calculus coming in there. And there is Zapcrash being turned into a pick that right clicks to go from the low ground from Calculus. Meteor though, Black Hole, Blink in, Roar goes up. BKBs everywhere. Atsi will be going down. There's the first one. It will be Rubik that still drops, so buys back. Tosses, Avalanches, Tiny doing the works there. Gem drops on the floor. Leshrac goes down. Beastmaster goes down. We have Klinks even going down to the Windrunner. Sunstrike is going to hit Chen on the side, but Chen, he has better things to worry about. It is the Tiny that clears him out. One more hero left on the side of Meteor Makers. Queen of Pain, Avalanche, one more right click, and that is the Aegis. Gonna be gone. I don't think she'll be staying alive after this one. Gonna try to blink out afterwards instantly, but not gonna be able to do so. Shackle latches and the right click, and that is a team wipe. And the only thing FUBAR lost was a Rubik that bought back, and buyback from the Queen of Pain now as well.
That was pretty insane. Even after MYM got the Aegis, they still weren't able to win the fight. And this is the thing I was talking about, where Klinks is starting to peak off. And that's what's going to happen against Tiny. Tiny even messed up that fight in a lot of ways. He didn't pop BKB until 80% through that first engagement. He took a lot of damage, got down to about 30% HP, but still was able to DPS through it.
Yeah,
really
afterwards,
pleaded through a lot of heroes.
He kind of stuck at 80% or 30% HP.
Yeah.
He didn't take any more damage after that BKB happened. And I mean, they got the tier 2 tower, not gonna get anything in return, but this is like a turning point, I feel like, for the game. FUBAR now getting the advantage over the game. Tiny, level 25, is not has full items just yet. It's got 4,600 gold. He could have even died and come back again, and being able to still turn the fight around. And there were not enough buybacks from Meteor Makers to make up for that. And they actually, none of them, apart from the Klinks and the Queen of Pain, who both bought back, of course, to defend there, none of them would have had a buyback, and there's buybacks up on almost everybody of FUBAR, apart from the Rubik, who of course just bought back in the previous fight. That's going to be more and more needed for these fights, the buybacks. Who has them, who doesn't, and that's going to make or break your game.
So, they're still kind of grouping up more farming coming from MYM. Just BKBs on Leshrac. They've got to do a better initiation, I think. They got jumped on. The Hex came on the Rubik. I'm sorry, that was FUBAR that got initiated on, right? And they still won the fight. So I guess that was probably just about as good as it could have been. And they did roar the Black Hole, so what am I talking about? I mean, that was pretty much ideal for them.
It started out great for Meteor Maker. They cleared off the Rubiks really fast, with the Hex, of course, with the damage done from the low ground as well by Calculus. And the Black Hole came in, blinked in, Black Hole, but yeah, Roar was very short to follow up. But then the Rubik bot was back inside that fight real fast, and with the Tiny there, just all the BKBs activated. There was not enough damage for Meteor Makers to go through, and Klinks actually went down fairly fast in that fight as well, and he was not the one that had the Aegis. Queen of Pain did. And I actually thought that Klinks would have it. Klinks did pick up the cheese, but was not even able to use it because there was too much disable coming off from that fight.
So only so much Klinks can do at this point.
Yep.
Single target damage is going to peak off, especially range single target damage, because he's going to take some damage from Tiny, and Tiny knows that he can't fight him anymore. This is the point where Tiny reigns supreme, tons of AoE damage.
Yep, and I'm curious to see if he's still gonna go for next item, or if he just wants to have that buyback ready in 2.5 minutes, because he needs that buyback, because he probably will die, to be fair, even though he has the cheese. But Tiny,
yeah,
I mean, if Tiny has buyback, he has to have buyback too. It's that simple.
They find a Rubik in the top jungle. That was a Roar with nukes from Queen of Pain. They used the Hex, but no ulti needed, of course. The cooldown is still very high, because she did skip Aghanim Scepter this game, but she picks up a Demon Edge actually, so she's going to try to do some carry potential here. This is actually exactly what MYM needs, because we haven't seen them have enough damage. Calculus is going to take the Sunstrike. No, he dodges it just barely. Lucky for him. He's so close to his Monkey King bar. It's going to be right against Windrunner. It's going to give him some pretty good damage and mini stuns against the Tiny as well. I don't know if it'll be enough for MYM in terms of carry potential, but it is going to be a step in the right direction. Yeah,
because like you said, I mean, the Klink's alone is a bit at his peak, and like, well, they need more carry potential. Maybe the Beastmaster also going to be going for some damage items at some point, but he is the only one really left that could go for that. So I feel like it's too late for Leshrac to still pick up too much carry potential. I mean, yeah, he could try to go for Bloodstone, but he's been supporting, he's been warding. He's not going to be able to do anything more than just try to get some well-placed stuns and having his Edict on in the game. The cheese gets put in the courier. Let's see where it's going to go. Is it actually going to go to base? Means that Klink's picked up the butterfly, so that's going to be that one. Ready.
He did butterfly. Okay.
Still has the brown boost of speed.
That's okay. He might as well sell him. I mean, no, I'm just kidding.
I think
Boots of Travel
Boots
will
of
probably
Travel,
be his
yeah.
next item. You might as well. It's so late. I mean, the 30 attack speed from the treads would be nice to have, but I don't think it's really the right thing to do here. Might as well just save for Boots of Travel, because at least then, if it gets really, really late and he has a lot of gold, he can die and buy back and teleport back into fights. But I think the Butterfly was definitely the way to go. The evasion is going to be needed. There's very little chance that Tiny is going to go for a Monkey King bar. I think he's going to Daedalus first for sure, because his base damage is already so high that he just wants to crit from the numbers he's working with. But this will keep Klinks alive more often. He still can get Black Hold, but this is going to go a long ways towards giving him the DPS and survivability that he needs.
Yeah, and do you think Windrunner is going to be going for a BKB now that she almost has the gold? And she is one of the 2 people on FUBAR that does not have the BKB yet?
She could. She could also get a damage item. She could get a utility item as well. She could get like a Shiva's Guard or something. She might just save for buyback at the moment. I wouldn't say she needs more items. She's pretty much got all the items she needs for the rest of the game. I mean, it'd be cool to have more stuff, but I don't know if it needs to be there. I think she should spend her money, though, probably. I mean, I think a Shiva's Guard might be the smart choice. BKB would be great to stopping the magic damage, but it probably should just be a BKB, though, because she would guarantee that she doesn't get disabled then.
Yeah, she had
mostly guaranteed.
Yeah, and guaranteed that she is able to get her Hex off, of course, as well, because that's going to be a big influence on the fight. As we have Invoker picking up an Ultimate Orb, so that's going to be another side of Vice probably up on Invoker, meaning that as soon as Klinks gets caught out without a BKB on and gets hexed, there's really no end to the hexes that could come out from FUBAR right now. And to the disable, with Tiny also picking up a Demon's Edge. More damage going through. As we see,
they're still farming.
Yeah, and they're probably not going to be doing anything else anymore until Roshan is back up again, which is in 4 minutes time. And
looks like they actually are going to smoke up.
Yep.
So they're going to group for a smoke. Klinks is going to come from a different lane. He's level 25, still picking up some farm here. He's actually going to grab a Dark Troll Warlord, so his survivability will be huge. And if they can catch somebody, pick off a core hero that doesn't have buyback. I think everybody has buyback though. Everybody except for Rubik, I think, is the only hero. No buyback on Rubik. Everybody else on FUBAR has buyback, and plenty of buyback actually.
Yeah, they are a very rich team.
This is what they're waiting for. They know that MYM has to have a gank where they pick off a lot of enemy heroes to be able to win the team fights. And there's no heroes currently on the map, so they know something's up. Enigma's currently being a little dangerous farming solo, but everybody else is mostly pretty close to this in case somebody gets jumped on. And MYM is now visible if they end up running out from the high ground, or they're just going to wait for FUBAR to check the high ground as a possibility as well.
Yeah, there's no ward up here, so Meteor Maker is still inconspicuous. But yeah, I think FUBAR, they definitely, of course, know that something is wrong. Though now they might be caught out from the background. Ooh, wow! Actually, they noticed that power shot scouted them out, and they noticed the blink was there from the Rubik. But they're still gonna continue going, forcing Meteor Makers to follow them. Actually, there is some TP scrolls up, but I was gonna say, Klings doesn't have one, so he has to go back there very fast. TP used by the Chen, TP used by everybody else. They need to defend this, and it looks like FUBAR just wants to go for tier 3 towers. A gem gets dropped on the floor by the Beastmaster somewhere.
There's an alacrity on Tiny now. It's 3 levels of Wex, and Invoker's Zag and Upset are really picking off here. They hex in. They're actually going to grab him. They're putting him low. There's the ulti. Tiny might die right here. It's going to be close. He pops. BKB is barely alive, but no one able to kill him. The black hole happens. The roar finally. Tiny is solo. Clinks is going to get him, though, and this might be the swing. Will they be able to finish the rest of FUBAR? Enigma has 1 hit on him. Phaelix is also super low. He's going to Ghost Walk just in time, though. Scream Pain not getting the kill, and FUBAR is back. The Tiny's doing the right click. He's going to grab his creeps. The creeps are dead. The ice wall is slowing them so much, and Avalanche as well puts them low. The toss, the AoE damage, they're all dying. Clinks is hobbling back to base. Pipe is used, but he's going to survive, and they don't care. They're just going to take the racks.
Yeah, and they're actually going to back off at the fortification up there. All these buybacks coming out. Incredible. There's still the barracks going down. They're going to take the second one as well. So making it even across the board, but they're not stopping there. They want to go for the tier 3 here, and they will be able to get him. I mean, with that Tiny, there is so much damage coming out, and there's still the Invoker and the Rubik and the Windrunner all able to help out. Should this turn into another fight? There is again Tiny being turned into a piglet, Roar going off again as well, but Calculus being locked inside. A Shackle as well as an Ice Pet. Look at the movement speed of the Beastmaster, it's just too slow. Invoker will still go down. Kalink's doing the damage, picks up the Tiny, picks up the Rubik. Triple kill for Koikfa, and he wants to go for more. Windrunner now on the run, but here comes the Shackle still. The Gem of Truth set up on the Windrunner. There's a Shadow Strike still up. There's Silence there as well. Will they be able to stop that from happening? They will, and that's the Gem dropping on the floor. They will actually not see it anymore, clearing out the creeps. And that is at least not going to be the second barracks lane going down. 4 heroes down on the side of FUBAR. And the buybacks. How many buybacks were there? Like, really? Only 3?
3? Yep.
It felt
just
like
3,
so many
somehow.
more.
Yeah, it did. Queen of Pain's Monkey King Bar Pain off there was able to get the mini stun on the Windrunner. Otherwise, she might have been able to survive. With Windrunner and a TP, they had no other ways of disabling her. At least, unless the sheep was off cooldown, but I don't believe it was. So, dewarding now, Gem is up on the Beastmaster, and they're pushing towards the mid lane. There's a lot of dead heroes on FUBAR, and they were a little too greedy there. There's 4 dead heroes. Enigma's going to be up, but no black hole for him.
The only buyback is on
and
the
he's
Rubik,
actually
who's
counter
alive
pushing
again
top.
anyway.
Are they going to be able to just win the game right here? I mean, FUBAR was ahead, but they threw away all their core heroes trying to take a double racks instead of just taking the one. I'm like confused this is even happening, because I thought FUBAR was so far ahead.
Yep, there's 1 tier 4 tower down. Buyback from the Windrunner, forced. Well, Shackle doesn't latch. And there's a strafe. They want to go for the throne. BKBs are popped. Roar going off on Enigma. They still want to kill him off. Sonic Wave going through, and everybody alive again, and they get the throne. It is Meteor Makers that take game number 1 only. I didn't think that was gonna happen.
I didn't think it was either. I didn't see that coming. I was like, okay, FUBAR just won a solid team fight. They took the mid racks. They were forced to buy back with Tiny, but they've got this. And then all of a sudden, 4 dead heroes, and MYM's pushing mid. And they just take it with right clicks and BKBs. So that was FUBAR misplaying, I believe.
Yeah,
largely
I think so too.
misplaying.
Meteor Makers do the same thing earlier. I mean, they also tried to go for double racks. They died all, but they still had their tier 2 tower standing. They could afford to do that, but with everything already down on FUBAR in the mid lane, they could just go for the GG. They did it, and they ended it, and, well, congrats to them. It was only game number 1, though. We'll see game number 2 between Meteor Makers and FUBAR. And this was an hour-long game. I'm curious to see what they have in store for the next game. This was a GosuLeague Division 1 match. Like I said, game number 1, we will see game number 2. And it was for Season 5. My name is Sheever, and casted together with Purge. We are both GosuGamers casters. If you want to check out more about the GosuLeague, go check out gosugamers.net/Dota2, and on the right side of the front page you will see a link saying GosuLeague Season 5. So go check that out for sure. We'll be back with game number 2 shortly after. Be right back. Oh, something happened. Not sure what it was.